The whole purpose of putting this thing forward was because Texas is redistricting. And from my understanding, they're doing it under a court order, like they're being forced to redistrict. So what does Gavin do? He says, well, if Texas is going to cheat to give themselves more congressional seats, we're going to cheat to give ourselves more congressional seats. And what is it doing? It's redrawing the maps of congressional districts. And so what does that do? So you take congressional districts that were typically red. Here's the best example right here. Let me go full screen so you guys can see it. Actually, I'll go over to a different. This is like the best example of it right now. I believe this is District 1, and it would become District 2. So let me go full screen so you guys can see this better. Okay, so the purple here, that's the current district. So you can see this. You know, it's right on the border with Oregon, border of Oregon up north, border of Nevada over here on the east. There's no coastal cities, even though Crescent City up here is red. That's red. So is most of Eureka, from my understanding. But all of this down here, where my cursor is, down here to San Rafael. Oh, you guys can't see my cursor on the screen, can you? Okay, there it is. All right. So all of this down here. Whoa, what are they doing there? They're just adding this strip, which is all deep blue. This is Napa, St. Helena. It's all wine country right here. All of this super blue, and they're going to take this really red district right here, and they're going to add a whole bunch of blue to it to get it to flip. Like, and that's what they're doing with tons of these different districts. And I mean, it's very clearly gerrymandering. It's very clearly a means of rigging the map in the favor of Democrats, and they're calling it an anti-election rigging proposition. It's like the ultimate narcissistic gaslighting. Just accuse the other person of what you're actually doing. It's seriously narcissism 101. And of course, it's being done by Gavin Newsom and his insane narcissistic Democrats behind him. So let's just read a couple of articles about this. So let me go. Like, these are the current maps. This is can I zoom in on this? There we go. So this is the current map. So you can see District 1 is all this in like yellow up here. And they would be adding all of this down here to it. So yeah, they'll just, I mean, I can compare the two. This is the proposed map right here. Sorry, right here. This is the proposed map. And then this is the new map right here. Now, it's hard to just look at it and understand like what they're doing, but believe me, they put a lot of time into doing the math on, okay, this district, this county here is a plus 30 points Democrat. We can afford taking 20 points and basically sliding that into this super red district over here to hopefully turn it purple or even flip it blue. Like, that's what they want to do. They want to get rid of all Republican congressional seats. I'm curious what they're doing to Kevin Kiley's district. I should have looked into that more, because Kevin Kiley is probably the most consequential California Republican out there, and he actually does stuff and people actually like him. So we'll see. Wally World, my district here in PA used to be a plus 15 red. After redistricting in 2018, it is a plus 15 blue. They included a blue city in our district. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's all that this stuff is, and they do it all the time. It's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And I haven't asked anybody that's actually, I'm voting yes on Prop 50. I haven't asked any of these people, like, okay, why? Like, why do you think this is good for California? I want to hear what they have to say, like, out loud. It's like, are you doing that to make red districts blue? Is that what you're doing? Are you intentionally doing that? Well, yeah. Okay, then you're pro-election rigging. That's exactly, well, Texas is doing it. Okay, let's say Texas stopped doing it. Would you still support this bill? Well, yeah. Sorry. Well, yeah, you're pro-election rigging. Like it's so frustrating. There's no integrity behind anything that they do. It's just, how can we cheat in every aspect of this? Okay, let's go over to this article. So this is about the Prop 5 mapping. This is from LAist, the brief. So let me go back full screen here. You guys look like you guys are going to read along with me, so I'll just have it up on screen here. All right, so Prop 50 mapping. Does it divide California communities? Let's see. There's no question that proponents of Proposition 50 have a partisan goal. By seeking to adopt a map to put more Democrats in power in areas currently represented by Republicans, they're asking voters to temporarily bypass the state's independent, nonpartisan redistricting commission. So they have a commission, and they're bypassing it. The commission that does the districting, and that's their whole job, nonpartisan, independent. Well, they don't want to use them, which for the past 2 decades has prioritized maps that keep similar communities together and provide more electoral opportunities for communities of color. Does that mean that the proposed new congressional district would be less representative of voters beyond party preferences? We looked into some common questions. Who drew the Prop 50 map? Who drew it? Who drew the map that they're proposing? Paul Mitchell, a veteran Democrat redistricting expert in Sacramento, and a group of similar consultants drew the map. Mitchell explained in an interview that he took input from California's Democratic congressional delegation before sending a proposed map to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Okay, so Democrats drew it. The committee has sent the proposal to the state legislature, which adopted the map, the supermajority Democrat state legislature, which adopted the map as part of its vote to put on Prop 50 on the November ballot. The proposition would allow the state to temporarily use those proposed district lines. Isn't California already gerrymandered? Not quite. Many Republicans, including Vice President J.D. Vance, already complain that under California's current map, Democrats control over 80% of congressional seats, even though the party got just under 60% of statewide votes in the 2024 presidential election. But that doesn't mean the maps are intentionally drawn to give Democrats an unfair advantage. Registered Democrats outnumber Republicans nearly 2-to-1. The Citizen Commission that drew maps, composed of equal numbers of Democrats and Republicans, as well as 4 independents, were specifically forbidden from considering party registration in deciding how to draw the lines. Okay. They did have to consider geographically, the Democrats and Republicans don't live in an even distribution across the state. Plus, several of the current blue districts are highly competitive, with the incumbent Democrats winning them just last year with razor-thin margins. Right. Those are the ones where, the Republican was ahead by 3 points, and then they kept counting, and then he's only ahead by 2 points, and then they kept counting, and he's only ahead by 1 point, and then after 3 weeks of counting, miraculously, the Democrat overcomes the 3-point deficit. Those are the districts they're talking about, because they got to count those mail-in ballots and do signature verification and ballot curing, because that's a thing. 2 academic institutions that rate states' redistricting plans say California's current map is mostly fair. Plan Score found the map is tilted toward Democrats by 2 measures and balanced by 2 other measures. Princeton University's, my landlord texted me. Princeton University's gerrymandering project gave California's map a B score on partisan fairness, docking it only for giving incumbent politicians an advantage. The proposed new map got an F from the organization. Would the new map further divide communities? Both proponents and opponents of Prop 50 claim their favored map. The existing one or the proposed new one keeps cities and counties together more often, resulting in better representation by keeping similar communities under the same Congress member. So which is it? It depends on how you look at it. So this is written by somebody that's definitely pro Prop 50. And each side paraphrases their claims differently. The Opponents of Prop 50 are correct in saying their map splits fewer total cities and counties into 2 or more districts than the current map. That's according to analysis by both Maps by Haystack DNA, the firm that assisted with the nonpartisan redistricting in 2021, and analysis by the Nonpartisan Public Policy Institution of California found that differences to be nearly negligible. Then why are they doing it? Like, why are they doing it? And why is it only Democrats that are pushing for this? Why are they doing it? But the Democrats' map has more cities and counties that are split among 3 or more districts rather than only 2. That's why opponents are also correct in saying that Prop 50 splits communities more times. Though in their argument mailed to voters, they overcome the number of times. Okay, I don't know what that means. But keeping cities and counties intact isn't the only way to judge the quality of a congressional district. For starters, big cities have to be split into multiple districts to ensure that each congressman represents the same number of people. Both maps give each district 76,066 Californians, give or take 1 constituent. Plenty of California cities are split in both maps because the state constitution requires independent map drawers to consider not just keeping cities and counties together, but also communities of interest, which the law defines as a contiguous population which shares common social and economic interests that should be in one district to be represented fairly. That's funny because you've got towns like East Palo Alto right next to Los Altos Hills. They're not exactly, they don't exactly have the same interests, but we'll keep going. In any region that could maintain everyone who sends their kids to the same school district, or everyone who works in farming, or everyone who relies on I-5 for their daily commute, but there's no set definition of all communities of interest. So once you consider them, it becomes a matter of opinion how well each map represents Californians. Okay. Prop 50's opponents have highlighted Lodi, a 66,000 person city north of Stockton, currently represented in 1 congressional district that would be split among 3 districts under Prop 50. Damn, they would split Lodi in 3. The Lodi City Council opposes the measure. That's I believe Lodi is where Sons of Anarchy was supposed to take place. They called it the town of Charming. It was basically Lodi. Mitchell said the split stemmed from efforts to strengthen Northern California Valley District for Democrats by moving in more voters from Stockton. The resulting shuffle forced Lodi residents to be split up, but also unified Antioch and Martinez residents into 1 district and Vacaville and Solano County into another. All 4 of the latter cities and counties are split up under the current map. It's a trade-off, he said. Oh, it's just a trade-off, you guys. It's like we're just being fair. That's why we have to do it. And only Democrats and George Soros are supporting this. Okay. You could have competing communities overlapping. Which one's more important? But opponents say those trade-offs should only be made by public input and without partisan goals. That seems reasonable to me. In deciding which cities, counties, and communities to keep together or split up. 2021 Independent Redistricting Commission member Patricia Sine said the commission held numerous hearings and received tens of thousands of written comments, saying one splits more than the other. It's not that informative, said Sine, a political independent who opposes Prop 50. What did the people want? What did the communities of interest ask for? How does Prop 50 affect representation for people of color? Okay. In the weeks leading up to the election, opponents have highlighted regions of Prop 50's maps would split up against local communities' leaders' wishes. In a press, how long is this? Okay, there we go. Like 5 more paragraphs. Sorry, guys. This is longer than I thought it would be. In a press release issued by the other No on 50 campaign funded by House Republicans last month, that is a heck of a sentence, local politicians in Temple City and Azusa denounced the proposed maps for drawing lines through Asian American and Latino communities in East Los Angeles. In general, the proposed map doesn't actually change much, according to the analysis by the PPIC. Okay. If there are enough minority voters in a region to make up the majority of a congressional district, it could trigger the Federal Voting Rights Act, which requires states to draw districts protecting the community's ability to elect representatives of their choosing. There are 16 such congressional districts in California, all with a majority of Latino voters. Other concentrated racial communities that don't have enough numbers to be in the majority still have districts that are drawn with their interests in mind, like Asian voters in East Los Angeles County or Black voters in South LA in 6 districts. Asian voters are at least 30% of the population, enough to influence an election. California also has 2 districts where Black voters reach that threshold and 7 where Latino voters do. Prop 50 wouldn't change any of that. The Public Policy Institute even found the proposed map would add 1 more district where Latino voters make up at least 30% of the population. Some communities may have complaints about specific lines drawn by proposed plan. Senior fellow Eric McGee wrote, but the plan as a whole is very similar to the current one in most respects. It deviates mostly by creating more Democrat seats. It's the same. It'll just create more Democrat seats. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's the last sentence of this article. Like, talk about burying the lead. So Eric McGee wrote, but the plan as a whole is very similar to the current one in most respects. It deviates mostly by creating more Democrat seats. That's what all of this, everything that I just read could be summed up into that last sentence. But the plan as a whole is very similar to the current one in most respects. It just deviates mostly by creating more Democrat seats. Well, there you go. What is this all about? Creating more Democrat seats. Man, you could have put that at the beginning, LAist. Jeez, what a waste of an article to read. The last freaking sentence. Incredible. But the plan as a whole is very similar to the current one in most respects. It deviates mostly by creating more Democrat seats. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. The last sentence of the article. Incredible. Well, I'm glad I didn't stop reading because I was about to, because it was so long-winded and stupid. That article was annoying to read. I apologize. All right, let me read. Let me check some chats here. Danger, someone made a bunch of stickers and has been putting them everywhere saying, stop Trump, vote on 50. Yeah. It's seriously just sub 105 IQ, people that can't conceptualize a hypothetical. I think people that don't have an inner monologue. Like I think this whole Prop 50 thing is geared towards people that don't have an inner monologue. My district, okay, I already read that. Wally World. Melissa, why are so many people moving from California to North Carolina? I don't know. Maybe it's nice in North Carolina. Don't you guys have nice beaches? That's probably why. Probably because you guys have nice beaches and it's not California. And they're probably going to turn it into California. That's just how it goes. It says vote no on 50. Wait, what? Stop Trump, vote no. That's genius. That's freaking genius, Lonnie. That's hilarious. So people are putting up signs that says, oh, that is genius. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Lonnie. Oh, that's brilliant. I need one of these signs. Stop Trump, vote no on 50. Yeah, because people are that dumb here in California. Just associate it, say voting no on Prop 50 would stop Trump, you guys. It would stop him. So vote no on Prop 50. That's fucking genius. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm dumb. Sorry, I didn't catch that. That's good. Danger. Can you get me a sticker? Can you get me a sign? I'll put a yard sign up. Please. Yeah, I need to get some of those signs. Lonnie, get some of those signs. Distribute them. That's hilarious. All right, let's keep going because I have another article to read. I think, don't I? Yes, I do. Okay, so I have another article to read. I'm sorry, you guys. I know it's annoying. All right, Danger. Yeah, find some. That's fucking hilarious. Stop Trump. Vote no on 50. It's like people. Oh, yeah. People are really that dumb. Like, really. It's incredible. They should put like a mask over. I don't know. Sorry. I was going to try to make a funny joke, but it wouldn't have been funny. All right. I got another article to read. Let's keep going here. Let me cleanse my palate here. Before I read, you guys like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Oh, man, my dog's so cute right now. She's laying on the ground, but she's out of frame. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to shock her like Hassan Piker. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that viral video? Hassan Piker, the shitlib live streamer that's a communist garbage human being. I guess he I can pull up. I'm not gonna pull up the video. His dog, he has his dog's bed, like actually like right back where I have mine. But his camera's more angled so you can see it better. And he makes his dog lay in that bed. So his dog stays in frame for his entire live stream. And I guess his dog got up, starts wandering around. He sees his dog, and then all of a sudden you can't see his hand. You see his dog yelp and then jump right back into the bed. And everybody's speculating that he has a shocker on his dog and trained his dog by shocking it to get back in the bed during the live stream. Anyway, sorry. All of that was because I looked over at my dog, and my dog's just so cute, you guys. I can't help it. All right, let's read this article. The campaign over Gavin Newsom's map is one of California's most expensive campaigns ever. Okay, this is from Cal Matters, and they did have to make a statement before this. So they said, for the record, an earlier version of this article contained a number of erroneous characterizations and conclusions based on an incorrect interpretation of campaign finance data. The article has been corrected to reflect that Prop 50 is not the third most expensive campaign. It is not the third most expensive campaign in history. The article has also been updated to reflect that MoveOn.org is not among the top 5 donors to support the measure, but the California Nurses Association is. An incorrect reference to the amount of small donor donations by the House Majority PAC has been removed. The story has also been updated with new contribution data that changes the list of top opposition donors, which now includes Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan. Other totals have been adjusted accordingly. Well, doesn't the title here say the campaign over Gavin Newsom's map is one of the most expensive ever? Okay, so I guess before it said it's one of the top 3 most expensive ever. So I wonder what that means. Top 5, top 10, whatever. Let's just see how much they're spending on this, shall we? The fight over changing congressional districts in California to favor Democrats has already become one of the most expensive ballot measures in recent state history. The official campaign supporting and opposing Gavin Newsom's Proposition 50 reported raising more than 140 as of October 8th. The official campaign supporting and opposing. Okay, so this is total. This is for both sides. This is just how much money is being used. All right, so basically 11 million, 10.99 million House Majority PAC, a super PAC focused on electing Democrats to Congress. 10 million from George Soros, Fund for Policy Reform, which focuses on drug policy and electoral reform, according to IRS filings. Right, that's because George Soros wants to see the world burn. Like that's what all his stuff does, like electing or backing district attorneys like Chesa Boudin, Pamela Price, Chesa Boudin, former DA of San Francisco, Pamela Price, former DA of Alameda, both of which got recalled because they were so corrupt and crime spiraled so far out of control. I believe also out in Philadelphia. He backs soft on crime district attorneys. Why? The only possible conclusion that you could draw is that George Soros wants to see more crime and he wants to watch the world burn. So he put 10.5 million into this, clearly on the side of redistricting. 3.3 million, the California Teachers Association, a powerful union in close ties to Democrats. 3.3 million, the National Nurses Association, another large union that often contributes to Democrat campaigns. 3 million, the National Education Association, the largest teachers union in the country that gives overwhelmingly to Democrats. Okay, so where's all the money that's going against it? Okay, interesting. Newsom also transferred 2.6 million from his 2022 gubernatorial campaign. Oh, he's got leftover funds from that, huh? Oh, that's funny. Newsom used some of his own 2.6 million of his own campaign dollars to redistrict this. So like it's pretty obvious, you guys. Why are Democrats are pushing this super hard The last sentence of that article that I just read, it gives Democrats more seats. That's it. That's all this is they want to give Democrats more congressional seats. And one of the reasons they're probably doing this is because it's looking like the new laws regarding the census where everybody goes around and counts how many people are in a state. The census is how they determine how many congressional seats a state gets. Well, currently, California uses illegal immigrants in that count. So yes, illegal immigrants go towards determining how many congressional seats a state has. Well, if they pass a law saying you can't count them anymore, oh crap, they're going to lose congressional seats, especially in the districts that illegal immigrants are in. And what districts do those tend to be? Democrat ones. So to me, all this stuff ties together. If you ask me, I'm just speculating there. Okay, so Newsom transfers $2.6 million from his 2022 gubernatorial campaign. Gubernatorial. I've always liked that word. More than 66,000 unique contributors gave money to the Yes campaign, according to CalMatters analysis of data from the California Secretary of State. The groups opposing the redistricting measure are relying on two major donors, who gave more than 90% of the $41 million raised for their campaign. They have a smaller share of small donors, raising $83,000 from people who gave less than $100 below are the top 5 donors. Okay, so these are all the ones against it. Oh, well, that's a lot of money. That actually, 41 million, that actually seems like more than they've raised. Yeah, that's more than yes on Prop 50. Okay, so there's more money going towards no on Prop 50 than for it. Okay, so 33 million came from Charles Munger Jr., who contributed to the original ballot measure that created the Independent Redistricting Commission. Okay, so this guy's spending 33 million to keep it the same way it already was. 5 million from the Congressional Leadership Fund, a super PAC controlled by Republican leadership in Congress. Okay. 1 million came from Kevin McCarthy, former Republican Speaker of the House of Representatives, who transferred money from his campaign account, far less than 100 million. Okay. He said he would raise in a few weeks ago. So I guess Kevin McCarthy, who's a shit stain. I don't like Kevin McCarthy at all either. He said he would raise 100 million and he only came up with $1 million. That's funny. 1 million, Thomas Sybil, a Bay Area billionaire businessman who is related to first partner of California, Jennifer Sybil Newsom. That is funny. Huh. Okay, so he's going against this. That's interesting. 300,000 from Jim Jordan, a Republican congressman from Ohio. Okay, so that's it. So the majority of this is from Charles Munger Jr. 33 million. So Charles Munger Jr. is basically funding the whole no on Prop 50 campaign. I hope he's the one that came up with that stop Trump, vote no on 50. That's hilarious, Lonnie. That is freaking hilarious. I can't believe who came up with that. Whoever did is a freaking genius. That is incredible. Okay. Other groups unaffiliated with the campaigns are spending money to at least 25 are spending money to. I just said also because it's just sorry. Poor sentence structure bothers me. At least 25 organizations spent more than 1.5 million in support through ad buys and outreach, while at least 14 groups spent more than 64,000 in opposition. Newsom proposed the ballot measure after the Trump administration pressured the state for Texas to gerrymander its congressional districts in a way that would flip 5 Democrat seats to Republican in the upcoming 2026 midterm. Trump administration pressured the state of Texas to see. All right, I haven't looked enough into the Texas thing, but I've been hearing. I don't know if one of you guys want to fact check me, like live in real time, but I've been hearing that Texas is redistricting under court order. So I don't know, but like either way, that's Texas. Like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. California's we're our own state. You can't be like, oh, you're cheating. We're gonna cheat too. I mean, okay, sorry. Let's just keep going here. Methodology, our analysis based on data download. Okay, so that's just how they did it. All right, I don't need to read that. Okay, so that's pretty much Prop 50 in a nutshell, you guys. They're trying to redistrict California to give them more congressional seats. That's really all there is to it. So, I mean, make of it what you will. That seems to be the plan. Prop 50. Stop Trump, you guys. Vote no on 50. Stop Trump. Vote no on Proposition 50. Somebody clip that. That's going to be a good one. Okay.